This video we are going to discuss about how or what are the procedures are followed to filing a civil case in India. When filing a civil cases in India, the first step would be filing of suit and plaint. So why we are going to follow all the procedures? Because when we are coming to civil cases, if the procedures are not followed, then the registry has a rights to dismiss the suit. To avoid those conditions, we are following these procedures to complete the suit as a complete limitations. Here we can see filling up suit and plaint is a first step we have to do when we are filing a civil cases. The second step is wakalatnama, and third one is court fees. What is the nominal court fees which has been applied to particular district court or high courts. So whatever the court fees. The next one is how proceedings are conducted, and the next step is how the written statements are should be present, and replication which is given by plaintiff, and filing other documents, which means the supporting documents, and framing the issues and giving the list of witness, final hearing, appeal, reference, review, and limitation. So these are the procedures which has to be followed. So when we are moving to civil cases, these are the first procedure to follow civil suit is filing suit and plaint. The initial step we are going when we are trying to filing a civil case, the first initial step is allegation or written complaint. This allegation or written complaint will be available or present in filing of suit. The party who files it is known as plaintiff. Suppose I am filing the case, I am the plaintiff, and the party against whom it is filed is known as dependent. The opposite party is dependent. So I am creating, which means I am initiating this suit. So that's what I am the plaintiff. So how the plaint contains the procedures. So what are all the details is needed when we create a suit to file a plaint? Name of the court and name and address of the parties who is plaintiff and dependent, address of the party, because once the statements are ready, they have to send to particular addresses, and dependent has to be reply within 30 days of the suit which has been filed by a plaintiff. If nothing has been happened within 30 days, then automatically plaintiff will get acceptance, or plaintiff is having a success status of the particular suit. The third one is subject, how the subject has been, which means a brief statement. The fourth one is main content or submission made by plaintiff. So what is the content? Which means maybe property, maybe it's subject to uh, other problems. So what is the content? And fifth step is verification from plaintiff, stating that the contents of the plaint are true and correct. So whatever given by statement by plaintiff, has to be verified and it has to become as true. So first step we get completed because when we are creating shoot or plaint, the first step should be creating written complaint or allegation. So it's completed. The second step is Wakalatnama. So what is the Wakalatnama? The Wakalatnama is a written document by which the parties to the suit authorizes an advocate to represent them before the honorable court. However, if the party is personally representing its own case, then they need not file Wakalatnama. So Wakalatnama particularly needed. So I am a client. I need a advocate behalf of me. He has to go and work in court and he has to fill all the details and he has to work for me. So that's what the here Wakalatnama come into the picture. Suppose I am the person, I doesn't need any advocate or any persons which is needed for court. I had know all the ways how to represent or how to write the files, how to create all the fields. Then I no need for Wakalatnama. If the party is personally representing its own case, then they need not file a Wakalatnama. So, what are all the general terms and conditions that a Wakalatnama may contain? The first thing is that the client will not hold the advocate responsible for any decision. The second thing is that the client has to bear all the cost and expenses incurring during the proceedings. That the advocate will give a right to retain the documents unless complete fees is paid. So you have to pay your advocate for the particular shoot unless until you if you are not paid he has the rights to retain your documents. The fourth one is that the client is free to disengage the advocate already appointed at any stage of the proceedings. The fourth and needed one is that the advocate shall have all the rights to take decisions on his own during the hearing in the court of law in the best interest of his client. So, behalf of his client, he has all the rights. Advocate has all the rights to take decisions when he is creating a file or shoot. So, your Wakalatnama has completed. The, then you are coming to the point filling up plaint. So the next step is you are filling the plaint before chief ministerial officer, which means solicitor, at the filling counter, along with appropriate court fee and processing fees. See, these processing fees may be different, and because so based on the property type, the processing fees may be differ. Court fee as well as differ. So here you can see court fee is a nominal percentage of the total value of the claim or the value of shoot. Suppose I am creating a shoot, my property value, myself and my I am a plaintiff, my dependent has problem. So I am creating a shoot for the particular issue or particular property issue. In that case, I need to pay the court fee as a nominal percentage. So in that case, my property values, for example, 5 lakhs. So in that case, I have to pay minimum this much amount, more than 3,000. If my property has 4 lakhs, then I have to pay 2,950. So this type of value of suit you have to pay on it. So this is the court fees. The request amount of court fees and stamp duty is different for each and every suit, and the same is mentioned in the Court fees Stamp Act. Suppose you have, in case of plaint and return statement, the rupees 10 of the value of the suit, it will exceed 5,000 up to 10,000. And copy of a decree or order may be 50 pies. Here the court piece as per value of the suit. If the property exceeds 10 lakhs, you have to pay more than 5,000 and above. So how proceedings are conducted? In before 2002, plaintiff has to give the statement before the judge or magistrate how what are the subjects are available and how he has problem with dependent. So what are the ways, how many years the problem has continued, that all the statements he have to give as a verbal. But after 2002, he has to give the written things to his advocate how these things are happening. So on the first day of hearing, the court thinks that there is a merit in the case. It will issue a notice to the opposite party calling upon him to submit their arguments on a date fixed by the court. So after the notice is issued, the plaintiff is required to do the following, which means the plaintiff person who created the particular suit is plaintiff client. The file requisite amount of procedure fees in court, and so these are all the details needed. Then this these details has to be sent to dependent through courier or the court person, which is called as Amina, or else National Post. These post will be reach out to dependent within 7 days from the date of suit has been filed. So that's what here they mentioned as 2 copies filed for each dependent. One copy shall be sent by speed post and courier and register ID, and the other copy shall be sent by ordinary post. There is two type of things are going on: ordinary post and speed post. Such filing should be done within a period of 7 days from the date of order and notice. So once your file or order has been accepted, you will get a order number or notice number, which means plaintiff will get the order number or notice number. The written statement by dependent. Suppose plaintiff has sent out the courier through court and it has been reached to dependent. Now the dependent has received some notifications, so he has to require to appear on the date mentioned in the notice. Suppose if he is not appear on the date mentioned in the notice, then it directly come to plaintiff. He has the success state. So however, before appearing on the date, the dependent is required to file his written statement. So once you get the notification from plaintiff through court, he has to do the written statement, that is his defense against allegation raised by the plaintiff. Suppose plaintiff has raised some allegation against the dependent has to write the written statement. The written statement should be filed within 30 days from the date of service of notice or within such time as given by the court. Suppose the file or shoot notice has been sent by plaintiff today, so within 7 days it has to be reached to dependent, and within 30 days dependent should be create a written statement. Also, the maximum period that can be extended for filing a written statement is 90 days after seeking permission of the court. Also, the written statement which has been created by defendant should specifically deny the allegations. Suppose plaintiff has raised some allegations against the problem of separating homes between two peoples. In that case, the written statement which has been created by dependent should deny the allegations which according to dependent is wrong and false. Any allegation, suppose the when creating written statement by dependent not specifically denied is deemed to be admitted. Also, the written statement. Suppose dependent has created written statement should also contain a verification from the dependent stating that the content of the written statement are true and correct. Also, the next step is replication by plaintiff. So, what is replication? Suppose once the written statement is filed by the dependent is to file a replication, which means this is the step from plaintiff. Replication is a reply against the written statement filed by the plaintiff. Suppose now the thing is plaintiff has created some notifications and it has to reach to dependent and dependent has created some written statement within 30 days and filed and it has to be come into the area of plaintiff. Now the next step for plaintiff is he has to file a replication, which means replication is a reply against the written statement filed by the plaintiff. The defense made by the dependent written statement is to be specifically denied by the plaintiff in replication. Anything which is not denied is deemed to be accepted. Once the replication is filled, the pleadings are stated to be completed. So what are all other documents or supporting documents has to be filled for this particular shoot? So after these bleedings are completed and both the parties have filed their submissions, both the parties are given an opportunity to produce and file documents that are substantial to their claims. Maybe plaintiff and dependent have both have some opportunity to produce the file and supporting documents for particular claims. The procedure filing other documents or other supporting documents may be so suppose the situation where documents filed by one party is admitted by opposite party. Sometimes it may happen. So whatever the documents filed by plaintiff has to be admitted by dependent party. There can be another situation where the documents filed are denied by the opposite party, may be accepted, may be denied. In that case, it can be admitted by the witness produced by the party whose documents are denied. So plaintiff should be a witness and dependent should be a witness. So in that four people should be involved in that plaintiff and plaintiff witness and dependent witness. Once it has been denied, then witness should come into the picture. Uh, Also, once the documents are admitted, it shall be taken on record and all the details of the suit shall be inscribed on the document as per the Order 13, Rule 49 of Code of Civil Procedure. So this is the Order 13 and Rule 49 based on the Civil Procedure Code. Here, so it is mandatory that any document which is filed by the parties must be original and a copy of such document shall be provided to the opposite party. See, actually when doing verification, it should be the original documents which both the parties may be dependent and plaintiff. And suppose for any document which is not filed or produced cannot be relied on during final arguments. So as of now, what we are seeing is how the file or plaintiff file has been prepared, and how the written statement has to be filled, and wakalatnama and court fees, how proceedings, written statement, replications, and finding other documents. They again framing up issues, final hearing, appeal, limitation. These all the steps are available. So here the thing is, so what are the supporting documents is required for that? Here we can see all the documents should be original, and based on the rule 49 of civil code procedure, record details should be inscribed, and any document which is not filed or produced cannot be relied on during final arguments. Suppose now you are providing some documents, and suppose if you missed out any document, the final argument, if when taken by final argument, you cannot submit those documents. The next important thing is framing up issues. How we can frame, or we can come to a complete framework of whatever the issues has to be raised by plaintiff. The next stage in civil proceeding is framing up issues. Issues are framed by the court on the basis of which arguments and examination of witnesses takes place. So issues are framed keeping in view the dispute in the suit, and the parties are not allowed to go outside the purview of issues. Issues framed may be fact or law. At the time of passing final order, the court will deal with each issue separately and will pass judgments on each issue. Suppose when we created suit, when we given the more than 5 issues, for each and every issue should have some original document, and the court will give final order for each and every issue separately and will pass the judgment on each issues. So how the witness and cross examinations should be happen? For example, plaintiff have one witness and dependent have one witness. So all the witness, minimum witness is one, and here all the witness that the parties wish to produce and examine have to be presented before the court within 15 days from the date on which issues are framed, or within such other period as the court may fix. So within 15 days, witness should be produced and has to be examined before the court. And the second thing is both the parties of the suit to have a file list of witnesses. So without witnesses, we cannot frame the issues. Also, the parties may either call the witness by themselves, or the court can ask them same by sending summons to witness. Also, when date of hearing, the witness produced before the court will be examined by both the parties, and once the cross examination is over at this stage, the court will fix a date for final hearing. So for each and every witness should have a final hearing, and should have initial hearing and examined, and final hearing is needed. These three steps are needed. And also how the final hearing will be happen. On the day of final hearing, the arguments take place, which should be strictly confined to the issues framed. Suppose the 5 issues are framed, the final hearing, all the 5 issues has to be strictly confined. After hearing the final argument of both the parties, the court shall pass a final order either on the day of final hearing itself or on same other day fixed by the court. Once the final hearing is completed, the final order has been dispatched by court, maybe the same day or other day. However, before the final argument, the parties to the suit can amend their pleadings with the permission of the court. So also appeal, reference and review, how it will work. Suppose when an order is passed against a party, maybe dependent has as against the order is passed against him. So in that case, what he can do, appeal, reference, review. These three steps has to be taken by him. However, there are certain technicalities in filing an appeal. These are stated as follow. Suppose if you want to give an appeal, you have to follow that, which means in case the value of the suit does not exceed 10,000, an appeal case only be filed by the question of law. In case a decree is passed against the defendant, ex parte no appeal is allowed. These two things has to be considered when we filing a appeal. Suppose if you want to give a appeal, so what is the procedure? The appeal has to be filed in the prescribed form signed by the appellant, also along with a certified copy of the order. So when we have the created the suit, the order number is already there. So we have to update that order number. Also, if the appeal filed against a decree for payment of money, the court may order the petitioner to deposit the disputed amount. Also, suppose any issue which was not taken by the appellant in lower court cannot be subsequently taken up in the appeal field. So here we can see Sambilapia civil suit filed under section 138 of the Negotiable Instrument Act. Here we can see how the Sambilapia civil suit is available in the Court of Judicial Magistrate First Class Patiala. Here you can see this is the sample of the civil suit. So here you can see Sasni Pansal aged. So what is the age and resident, which means address and Aadhaar card number and son and who is his family members and what is the complaint. Here you can see. So these are so here he is given Ajay Kumar Saugan, Kushalban, so director. So he has given complaint against these peoples, the complainant versus. So here you can see he has started from it is respectively submitted as under that the present complaint is being filed by the complainant through his special power of attorney, namely Rupesh Garg. So power of attorney case. So here the complaint has been raised and here you can see all the accused all had visiting relations to the complaint and the accused gained mutual and good faith of the complaint. Now he has raised 15 lakhs from the complaint. Here you can see when we come to that. So check number, so detailed issue. So he has created many issues and each and every issue court has to give the detailed level of solution. Here you can see 10 type of different issues and what are the witness he had. Suppose witness name and everything and what are the list of documents he has attached, photocopy, original check, original bank memo, office copy of legal notice, bank statement, list of directors. So all the details he has given into the attached into the through the complaint. Also here we can see the single sample of Wakalatnama. how the Wakalatnama will be looks like. Here you can see Wakalat in the Honorable Court of National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, New Delhi. So here you can see civil jurisdiction, consumer complaint number, and appeal number, revision petition. Everything will become into picture of the Wakalatnama. So in the matter of petitioner and versus dependent, also the complaint status, who has created, so who is lawyer. Here you can see dated and signature of the complaint, advocate, and who is the creator of the caveat petition, and a memo of appearance. Here you can see you have to add memo of appearance to the register. And here you can see Wakalatnama looks like dependent caveators. You have to give the detailed description of this is my he is my advocate and he has the responsibility in behalf of me. So advocate has all the options to take care of his client for this through this Wakalatnama. Also, client has to pay to advocate to complete level up all the Wakalatnama, or the complete has complete this case to be filled out to the particular level of time. Also here filled on who is the advocate name, here he has to create it on it. So this is sample of Wakalatnama and memo of appearances. Thanks for watching this, and you can write in comment section if you have any doubts.